And gentlemen, I am BDLM coming with my buddies J4Y and Bonk, bringing you an episode of our DoD On Demand podcast. It's episode number 43, based largely around Craig.
Meepo! Sorry if that was loud.
What's going on, guys?
Not much. As you can see, this guy in the middle is no longer PSY or oh god,
Ben
no,
Stein.
Ben Stein. He actually does have his own personality and face. Apparently, he can try to do the PSY dance from time to time, but it is not nearly as effective. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. How about you, Mr. Bonk?
I'm doing pretty good. Been playing some Meepo. Super excited. Feeding most of the time, but you know, it's alright. I haven't played him in a couple years, so.
Gotta get the rust off.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, rust. I don't even, you can call it rust. It's more like, gotta pick it up and try to rebuild from scratch.
There you go. Well, what can you do? Other things that we're going to be talking about today, of course, are actually something that I know Bonk doesn't follow at all. The professional scene and the Rising Star qualifiers that are leading into the GEST. What are your thoughts on them so far, Bonk? So anyway, yeah, me and J4Y and our buddy Maud actually started doing that, as well as some other casters. I'd say pretty awesome so far, I think.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, there is quite the time difference. Well, I say unfortunate. It's unfortunate for me because I work during the day. Not everyone does, though. Some work nights, some work different hours. So you and Mott, you know, actually benefit from this schedule, I think, more than I do. But yeah, it's a 12-hour difference. So we started casting at 8 a.m. this morning for, like you said, the Rising Stars qualifier. And it was actually pretty exciting right off the bat. These Southeast Asian teams, I think, are like maybe a whole nother level than what you would find in American pubs, or not pubs, but you know what I mean. Like the amateur, I think the amateur in Southeast Asia is much better than the amateur in U.S. or European, maybe.
I got to see a gyrocopter. Well, see, here's the thing.
Say
I didn't
what?
actually get to cast any of the games that had the crazy picks that I wanted to see. So there's a gyrocopter, and I got to see a little bit of that, and it was fantastic because they were actually stacking the creep camps in the jungle, and then gyrocopter used his split shot thing, the flat cannon,
Oh my god, are you kidding?
and just farmed
This
like
is a
mad.
real thing?
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's great.
Why weren't you casting that game? Why wasn't
I don't
I
know.
casting that game? That's disheartening to hear now.
I'd also like to say that I am the father of the Filipino meta, as Wisp Ricky was picked up. Boom!
Wow, they even listened to you
started it.
over there. You
Clearly,
your word
my
has
reach
reached
is
many.
extensive. I mean, it's just too strong. Too
Were
strong.
they on the same team, the Ricky Wisp and the gyrocopter?
No, I think they're different
Oh.
games,
Okay.
fortunately. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So, what is the link to our thingy?
Okay, so for all those who want to tune in, actually tomorrow 8 a.m. EST also, or it's 8 p.m. GST if you are over there, I guess. Either way, you can go to twitch.tv/Dota Talk Stream, all one word. I can type in the chat afterwards. I'll give a link. And yeah, just go ahead and hit follow, and you'll see when it goes live, and you can tune in. You'll be, for the majority, it should be me and BDLM on that stream, doing a two-man cast. Occasionally, like you said, Mott did join us this morning, and him and BDLM might be doing some others without me there as well. So who knows? But the point is, you can see some awesome games. You know, you don't get to see many Southeast Asian normally, so it is a nice break from the norm. Maybe if you watch games, and I don't know, it's a lot of fun. So yeah, check that out, definitely. There's also Gods' stream. He is streaming. It's definitely worth mentioning, as well as Sheever. I believe casted a series for this. So you know, apparently they did some great jobs as well. Unfortunately, I haven't had a chance to watch their replays, but I'm sure they did well as always. And yeah, so all exciting stuff. And just go to dotatalk.com. You'll see all the info there.
Boom. And then yeah, we'll probably also link in our Facebook and stuff as well. And I think I'm also going to drop some more keys this week. By the way, I'm just going to throw that out there if you guys want to, pay attention to the Facebook. Yeah. So there you go. I think we got all the mechanical stuff out of the way. Bonk.
Is it time?
Is it time
Live
to
Is it
unleash it?
time?
to do. Alright, Meepo.
Oh my gosh.
Jay,
I
come
can't
on.
participate.
We-
I'm sorry.
That was a level 6 alt. There were only
We
two
had
of
a
us.
we had a moment there, and Jay was just.
Does he have like a
It was-
barbershop quartet? Where he's like Meepo, Meepo, Meepo.
Well,
We were trying.
they are clones. You'd think they don't have the same voice,
Well, it's
Yeah.
a range of voices. Don't you know anything? Gosh. Whatever.
but your range of voice should be determined by your vocal.
Okay. I just tried to make it funny. Just let it happen every now and then, okay?
I just had to shut it down, you know.
Great. Thank you.
Buzzkill. They call me
Yeah,
Buzz Killington.
Yeah, we're very, we promote one another, hope that each other do well by shutting each other down whenever possible. Yeah, Meepo, I mean, you don't have the nice fancy little slide I made, but how about you go ahead and run through Meepo's abilities, Greg?
Alright, so. You may just give him, like, the abilities and.
The quickie.
individually?
Give us a
the
quickie.
general, yeah.
Alright. He's got a net that's a 2-second duration. And,
Would you like to call it by its name? Earthbind.
Is it called Earthbind?
He doesn't
It
even
is.
know.
I don't know what it's called. It's a net.
It's great.
It's
It's a net.
The thing about it is it's not targeted. It's like radial, so like you actually have to skill shot it, and it's got a terrible cast point and a terrible travel time. So it's quite difficult to use.
Confirm.
And then he's got Poof, which does magic damage based on level, obviously, and then it does damage from his departure point and his cast point, and you have to cast it on a Meepo. So at level 1, or when you only have one Meepo, you only can cast it on yourself. But when you have more than one, you can actually start blinking your Meepos essentially around the map to each other. Then he's got Geostrike, which is a dot and a slow, which scales with level. And then the move that creates Meepo is his ultimate, where he can make clones of himself based on level.
I'm sorry, Matt. Why do you always have to spell things wrong and make me laugh? I don't.
What did I spell wrong?
Devetted we stand? What is that supposed
Yeah?
to be? Devetted.
Yeah, divided.
It's a
It
long
almost
E,
looks like
indeed,
dive.
thank you.
No, it's like dive dead. Is the way I want to read that.
Wait, you don't
D-I-V-E-D-E-D.
you don't stand divided with me and Matt?
Apparently not. I am not
That's
very
how I do-
devetted.
I do 90% of my standing like that, so
That's not cool, bro. Gotta go
No.
with the program.
Anyways,
What was I talking about before you
I think
rudely
we were
interrupt?
actually talking about devetted we stand.
Alright, yeah, it was. Alright, and it gives, at level 1, it's 1 additional Meepo up to 3, and if you get Agumons, it goes up to 4. It gives you 1 additional Meepo. So,
it's
can have-
pretty
you can
Okay,
have
go.
5 heroes at max level, and if any of them die, they all die. And they all gain experience on their own. So if you have one Meepo in like the jungle jungling and one in the lane, they're both gaining experience for like each other. So you only have one EXP bar, but they all gain experience to the one EXP bar. So he's actually the best. He's the hero that can level the fastest, is the highest potential.
And
And
they only get to carry the boots.
oh, right, items. Yes. Sorry. The main Meepo, which is the Meepo you start with, has 6 inventory slots, and all the other ones only have 1. There's some little tricks you can do with that, which is interesting, like Boots of Travel. So you can have 5 Meepos, all with individual cooldowns on Boots of Travel. So, little
The good
nifty
stuff.
things that I don't do.
And?
It's expensive, and I don't ever have
There's
that.
another ad.
And
Hold on.
No.
Let's see. I don't know.
I don't know what this ad is.
I don't
to be
know what
honest.
this and is.
the clone Meepos also gain 25% of any bonus
Oh,
attributes
okay.
the primary Meepo has.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Sorry, your devetted we stand description does not really include that detail very well.
That's a very accurate description.
It is.
I'm pretty sure.
No doubt. No doubt. But,
But-
Damn.
yeah. So that's a good general overview, I think.
It
Maybe
is.
we
So
should
what?
start breaking it down.
I mean, what are your just general thoughts about Meepo as a hero and how he kind of compares to other heroes?
As a hero, he's awesome.
That's great
But
description.
he's super hard to play. So if you're like, hey, I'm going to go play Meepo, you probably should not do that, because you'll probably not do well. You might want to play a couple
Practice
bot
games.
versus AI games or practice games or something, and then you'll understand how difficult he is to play.
Yeah, there's actually
Because
a
if any of the Meepos die, go ahead.
I was just say, actually, I think you were lagging, so that's why I started talking. But then you like spoke all once. Anyways, I was gonna say there's this new statistic that someone or there's been a new hero that has a lower win percentage than Alchemist. Can you guess who it is?
Meepo!
None other.
Me owned.
Officially now the lowest win percentage of all heroes in Dota 2. Yes.
By like 4% or something.
Something like that. It's probably going to keep going down as we go.
Alchemist has 40% wins, and he has like 36. It'll probably go up because all the noobs are done getting owned, and only people who are actually like practicing with him and or know how to play.
You enjoy losing a lot with him. Apparently, you don't give up. So why would other people?
Because I know how to play. I can play the hero, but I mean, it's like I'll die a lot because, like, especially in AP, when my team, like, I'm going Meepo, and then my team picks like Faceless Void and Bounty Hunter. I'm like, I told you I'm going Meepo, so now you're gonna have to deal with it, because I'm gonna pick him, even though you just picked 2 hard carries. I don't care. And then it was me and Bounty Hunter lane. It didn't go so well.
Wow, that's
Really?
terrific.
Yeah, Meepo Bounty Hunter. Turns out not the new meta.
That is surprising. I would have expected nothing but success out of.
And then when I
Atlanta.
started feeding, my team was like, "Yeah, it's all your fault." And I
Of
was
course
like,
it is. It's a pub. It's always not their fault. You have to understand that.
I didn't
It's like
really
playing
care.
with our friend B Dun. It's never that fault. Okay. Oh, I didn't mean to call him out. That's rude. But
Nation.
Calling him out, man. Just name dropping.
So, like, why? I mean, clearly, he's very unique because of the fact there are 5 heroes. But what? Why Meepo? Why would you pick the Meepo? What is the Meepo for?
His mid game. Once he hits 6, he explodes because his experience gain doubles. I mean, he's a ridiculously good ganker once you get some decent items like, mech and blink dagger and all that. So I don't think he'll ever be picked up really in professional games, but I don't really know that well because he is very easy to counter.
Hey man, there's hope for Gyrocopter,
Apparently,
right? So
I don't know how, but whatever. Gyro. He was he even picked up once in the international?
no way.
I
No.
didn't think so.
Even Alchemist wasn't. He wasn't. So
Yeah, Alchemist.
although Alchemist, to be fair, was picked in like a game that didn't really matter. I think. Like they were pretty much the winners and
Hey.
top 4, bottom 4 were already decided at that point. But
Nyx
Still-
was picked in a game that did matter.
oh, you say that game matters? I don't know. Was it really that important? At that
Nyx
point.
was picked in a game that did matter.
No, as far as him getting picked up professionally, obviously highly doubtful. I mean, it would have to be a last pick, like a Ricky or something. Basically, that the team does not expect it. Because if you pick, let's say, Meepo in the first 3, there's so many heroes that you can basically. And I remember explaining it. I think I was trying to explain it to either BDLM or someone. I was like, okay, so as far as counters goes, maybe you pick like a single target burster like Lena or Lion, or maybe you pick Earthshaker or someone with AoE, and the person was like, so you pick anyone and they're a counter to Meepo, is that right? And I'm like, the more I talk about it, the more it does seem like most heroes are more or less could be a counter to this hero, so he does struggle a lot, I think, with damage. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he's also it's also like how you level his abilities and stuff. Like if you think about it, stat gain on him, putting points into attributes is huge because it gives 2 strength to all the Meepos, and it gives 2 agility to all the Meepos and 2 int to all the Meepos instead of just 1. So you get like 4 times the value of it. Like a lot of builds will not max Geostrike right away after Poof and Net in favor of attribute points, just to stop you from being burstable. And that's what the mech's for, also to help you survive.
yeah, that was actually I tried looking through a bunch of different guides and stuff to see how different people like to build, and that was something that I thought was interesting. There are a lot of different ways to go, and I thought that one was pretty interesting. Where it's like, yeah, you just go for some stats, so you don't die instantly. But yeah, I think that's the thing. Like thinking about them in competitive play, I just think about all these heroes that are already so prevalent, that are so good against them, and just like Rubik, you telekinesis 1 Meepo, you throw them across the room back at your team, they blow them up, your Meepos are dead. You go Windrunner, you just shackle shot Meepo to himself.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't like playing against Windrunner, and I do not like playing against Pudge because it's impossible to miss a hook on a ball of Meepos. You just like throw it in the area, and it's gonna hit one of them, and you're like,
You know, Toy Story with the alien crane in the
Yeah,
pizza
I mean-
store. That's what I'm imagining. Like he's just going for one of those aliens. One of them's got to go up eventually. That's a
and then
good
as soon
point.
as one of them gets hooked, you either gotta try to poof him out, which is not gonna happen, or you gotta poof all of them in and try to kill him.
Yeah, I mean that poof has a 1.5-second cast time, so it's not that hard to really interrupt a Meepo, and he has to stop the channel it for that duration. So it's not like you can do it while you're on the run. You can't do it like a Wisp ultimate. You can't move while you're casting. So it really makes you very vulnerable and pretty easy to pick off. I actually I was playing a practice game earlier with the Meepo. Bought Aghanim Scepter, had it delivered to me mid-fight. Moved all Meepos out with my control group. I'm like, oh yeah.
Group. Yeah, you don't deliver that mid-fight. You go, hold on, guys. I gotta remake my control groups now.
Yep, there was the loneliest Meepo who just wandered into some tier 4 towers, and it was not good. It's not good.
No control groups.
But
That's why they added that new interface in the upper left, so you can see when they're getting attacked, or if they're far away or off the screen getting attacked. I think it is. It flashes red or something. So yeah, they pretty much specifically designed that to more or less for this hero purely. I mean, of course, it helps with like Lone Druid and other ones, but yeah, it is kind of well designed for that. So for those who didn't know about that coming
The
in.
only thing I have about that is in Dota and the Warcraft engine, you could use F1 through like 5 to select all your different heroes individually, and it's not transferred through to Dota 2. It's unfortunate.
you can't bind it that way?
I don't think so. I mean, like, because I have my control groups. Like, 1 is the main Meepo, 2 is all the clones, and 3 is both groups combined. And then when you're in the middle of a fight, you need to pull like individual Meepos out that are getting focus, just to pull the focus off individual ones, especially if you're like engaging in on a carry. Because once you have Geostrike maxed, I mean, no carry can like ever keep up with a running Meepo, because you have the other 3 or 4 just beating on him with like an 80% slow from Geostrike. So it's like impossible to chase him down. But you need to be able to actually pull that one out.
Yeah, I mean that's something we didn't really mention earlier with the Geostrike. Is it stacks?
Oh yeah.
Depending on your number of Meepos, which is a borderline absurdity, I think. The slow really does start to get ridiculous.
I think it's multiplicative, not additive. The stacking.
Mm-mm.
So it's at first it's 20% off of 100%, then it's 20% of 80%, and then
Well, yeah, if you have 5, you don't get 100%.
yeah, if you're 5, it doesn't
You're
root.
done. Forget it.
And you're rooted. Nice try.
That would
Yeah.
be rude. I was going to
What?
say something.
That's
About
great.
the control groups. You were saying that. This guy, I was going onto good old Reddit, and apparently someone posted this Chinese Meepo legend, Nuya. Probably nowhere close to how you pronounce his name. It's Niuwa. But anyways, it's a beautiful guy, and actually I'm going to link this in the chat really quick. But basically, he goes over how he would generally build this hero, and his items he'd buy right away, and how he'd play them. And for example, he said how he grouped them is that he said 1 was everybody, 2 was every double, and then 3, 4, and 5 was third double, fourth double, and fifth double. And that's apparently how he liked to micro his Meepo. So it's pretty close to what you said, but he didn't have one like just for his main one. I think he just had all of them, and then if he wanted his other ones to go away, he'd just press 2 and send them away or something. So, anyways, it's a good. I think it's a good reference, and I think if you are going to play a hero like Meepo, you really should do some research, do your homework, or play a few bot games like you were saying, because you are going to be a big annoyance for a team if you just join a pub game and pick them fresh out of the out of the gates.
Who's this hero? Oh, let's play him.
He looks fun.
He looks like he can do some stuff. See what he... Oh god, I'm feeding!
So, like, what kind of item builds? I mean, you mentioned mech already. Blink Dagger. If you care to discuss that one, because that was the one that actually I noticed would pop up in some guides, but not others. It's listed as a situational item in Dota 2. And then, of course, if you'd also like to talk about the Aghanim Scepter.
Alright, so Meepo, any build, I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say any build that's, at least decent or not awful, they'll have power treads and mech first. Power treads and then mech because you need it to survive. Because the power treads convert all your Meepos, so they all gain 10 strength and movement speed and attack speed, and the strength is really vital. And then the mech again is more survivability. And then after that, you can go blink for ganking. The thing with blink is it's actually pretty hard to use because not only do you have to blink and then earthbind and then poof all your Meepos onto the Meepo that blinked and then have them earthbind so that the target doesn't get away.
Oh, I need like a notepad or something. You just gave me that's I remember in elementary school writing out instructions of how to make a grilled cheese, and that kind of reminded me of okay, step 1, buy blink dagger. Step 2, use blink dagger. Step 3, use. I'm just dude, hold on. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yep.
But
that's Meepo.
yeah, exactly. It's exactly the best way to describe it.
I was reading a guide and it was okay, here's how you Meepo. Q tab, Q tab, Q tab. E tab, E tab, E basically just having to go through that one control group and having to get all your Meepos together, which is crazy. So what do you think about the Aghanim Scepter then?
The guild, that guide that Jay links, the one I've been playing around with. I mean, the Earthbind, having the extra Earthbind and having the extra Geostrike is very nice. And assuming you have enough, assuming it's at any point actually in the game, really, you should have enough survivability that having another Meepo isn't an issue. It should be able to survive fine. I mean, unless you're playing against an Earthshaker or something where it'll just create more damage. But I mean, as long as it's not Earthshaker, it really has no downside other than the cost. I started at first not getting it, and then I've been picking up now. I mean, I think it's definitely worth the cost over anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, it almost feels like it's probably got to be one of the more bang for the buck Aghanim Scepters you can get. You get a whole extra couple of spell casts. You get, the additional just attack damage alone. I mean, especially once you start moving in the mid and later parts of the game, you're hitting for, 100 every attack. I mean, that's you just get 100 extra damage, essentially. So, seems really effective in the right situations.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really a downside to getting it, other than, like I said, the cost. It's really just weighing it against his other items he can get, like Assault, or you can even pick up Sheepstick or Orchid. Orchid if you're playing against a Storm or someone who can blink. Earthbind does prevent blink, and it has a mini stun component as well. So it's pretty interesting. You can stop channels like Sand King and all that. I've been terrible with that. Something I've been working on. But Storm Spirit's ult is apparently not a blink. So if you net him, he's just yes up, and then he ults away. And it's I hate you.
It will also stop heroes from turning invisible.
Yeah.
For the duration.
But once they are invisible, if you fail to chain cast it properly, it doesn't hit invisible targets.
Yep. So, Vlad's?
Vlad's. It's another core item. Generally you get it after mech. I mean, you can get it after blink. I get it after blink. Because it's not super core. I get a Ring of Basilisk to start, because it's 6 damage and mana regen. Because Meepo's base damage at level 1, I think, is 44, which is abysmal.
Not the lowest. Not the lowest. Just saying.
Who's the lowest?
I mean, unless you include
Goblin Techies.
Unless you include Techies.
Goblin
I think
Techies is
like
the lowest
20 or
base
something.
damage.
It's completely terrible.
Actually, Slark might be lower too.
I don't know, Slark.
Because he steals stats from other people, so his base stats are lower than most. That is something for the books, just to throw it out there. But yeah, he's pretty much the lowest you will deal with of most people.
When you're in lane with Meepo, you should try to last hit, but you should be more worried about not dying and getting experience and trying to get to 6 as fast as possible.
I was going to say, your number one job as Meepo is to not get insta-gibbed or die really quickly, because the longer you can persevere as that hero, the more you can do. I mean, being able to throw off those multiple Earthbinds and use those poofs, I mean, it's just huge. It's huge damage. But it takes so much coordination and microing, which is why a lot of people do stray from him. But it really is a pretty decent CC. I mean, of course, it's a lot better with Meepo than, let's say, Rubik stealing it, because if Rubik steals it, he's only got one Earthbind, and it's just a 2-second CC. You could get better from other people. But the thing with Meepo is there's up to 4 of them, or 5 possibly. And then, yeah, you have, essentially, it could be like a 10-second CC on someone. In addition, you are slowing them with all those Geostrikes. Pretty near impossible for people to escape you. So.
Yep. Once Meepo's got you, unless someone throws an AoE stun at you, you've got him. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's true, the stacking effect of that Geostrike pretty strong. Have you played any Meepo this week, Jay?
I played I played one bot game and I think one real game with Meepo. So I did not heed my own advice that I've given other people. Maybe that's why I've given it, because I've learned the hard way of just joining a pub without much experience. But my hardest issue was the fact that my control groups weren't really working out well for me. I use the F keys generally to play heroes, like for control groups, and then I use 1 through 4 as my items. So I'm like League of Legends kind of back from that. But I don't know, it wasn't working super well for me. I don't know, I was struggling to control so many different groups, which is probably why I don't play Chen and Enchantress either. But, you know, once I got higher level, and I had four of those dudes running around, jungling, I have to say farming, that was just insane how much gold I was getting. And like you said, experience too. I mean, if you do play it properly, even if you don't really pay attention, you send 2 of them to the jungle. Every now and then, you look at your main one like, oh, poof's up? Okay, go to my other 2. Poof, poof. Alright, go back to my main guy and do what I'm doing. And, like, you know, if you're even that much better, you could stack creeps for yourself. But, I mean, there's so many possibilities for him.
Yeah, you definitely want to be stacking creeps in the jungle. Once you hit 6, you keep the main one in the lane, and the second one goes to the largest camp and stacks it 2 or 3 times, and then you poof over and you blow it up, and then the main one goes back, and you start stacking again. I mean, that is how you explode after 6.
Yeah, I mean, I actually was really impressed. I was watching some of your games this week, Craig, and one of your games you were pretty on the ball with that. And yeah, I mean, it was a huge advantage. I feel like you were even laning against a Pudge in one of those games that I watched, and it was just like 6, get away from me! Get away, Meepo, into the jungle. I don't want to play. So, but yeah, it was really nice just how quickly you were able to get up items, get farm.
I have to look up a statistic on DotaBuff.com right now, which is a wonderful
my
site.
win-loss on Meepo.
Trying to find Bonk's win-loss ratio on Meepo as a hero.
Guarantee you it's been.
I have found him already. This isn't taking too long, don't worry. It's a viewer question. They wanted to know what your record was.
Oh, you want to know what my record is? Oh, I want to know.
So, I'm just going to go ahead, throw it over here to Meepo. Gotta find him. I'm surprised he's not in your top one already. You've played him a lot.
Played him that, dude. Like
you played him 11 games.
Like
or no?
50.
Okay, you played 11 games.
Hold
your
on,
win percentage,
Wait.
actually, it's right around the average in general. 36.36.
Look at that.
You are right around the global average. You're a C student in the world of Meepo. How do you feel about that?
I feel wonderful. The fact that I won 46% of my games. That's
over a
phenomenal.
third. That's pretty sweet, you know.
Where do I don't
By the way, we're seriously considering playing a viewer game afterwards, and I'm pretty sure we have to force Bonk to play Meepo.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, if you guys want to see some Meepo in action, you guys are welcome to try and get in with us. We'll queue up. It'll be great. Everyone will win, except for, Meepo. No, but it should be fun. So if you guys are interested in doing that, of course, stick around after the show, and we can hopefully get into that.
Can I also? Oh my God! I have to say this other statistic because it doesn't. It's okay. His worst versus Meepo in general, the hero.
Crap.
You want to guess the hero he has been worst versus this month?
Pudge?
Pudge is Craig's guess. What do you think, Matt? Just pick a hero you think would annihilate Treant Protector. I mean...
Treant Protector? It's not Treant Protector.
Should I have a Freudian slip?
I don't think I've even played against a Treant
Treant
Protector.
Protector is apparently been his biggest threat this month. His win rate against Treant Protector is 28.48 in 2,700 matches against him. Followed by Lycanthrope, followed by Ursa, and then Lich Tidehunter. So, yeah, figure that one out, Johnny. Yeah, there's no real logic. I guess the root, but you could say that about so many heroes, about their ultimates. I think it's too good.
The Leech Seed does the AoE damage, so I guess if people are really bad at moving the Meepo out, the affected Meepo?
Well,
The viewers were saying Kunkka. I kind of agree Kunkka would have been. In fact, that brings back terrible memories of a game I played with Bonk.
Oh, yeah.
Against the Kunkka, who had a Daedalus, a Divine Rapier, a Shadow Blade.
He didn't have one Divine Rapier.
Oh, two
He
Divine
had
Rapiers.
2 Divine
Sorry.
Rapiers.
Excuse me. And I
He
think
ran
it's
up,
like
attacked a creep, and I died.
was that in like 37 minutes too, or something?
It was retarded. I mean, it was just... I kept going. I was like, alright, I'm going to go out and do stuff. And then he'd, like, kill me. And I'd be like, alright, that's cool. I guess.
I'm done now.
I kept going at it. Whatever.
I'm sorry, I just thought that was an interesting statistic, that Treant Protector is apparently the bane of Meepo. That is good to know. Clearly, yes.
I have, I think, one more item question for you, Craig. Because this is one actually that I didn't see much in a lot of the guides I was reading, but it didn't make a lot of sense to me. Drums of Endurance.
Yeah, I mean, you can get it. I mean, I would say get it after Vlad's, though. Because once you get, like, Blink and stuff, that'll be about, like, level 11. And then once you get Blink, you can build Vlad's and kill Roshan by yourself. Meepo's really good at soloing stuff, because it's pretty much having multiple heroes doing it. It's not really a solo.
Do you not build Pipe because someone else is probably going to build it? I mean, why Pipe would be an amazing item, I would feel, on a
Pipe's
hero
good
like
too,
Meepo.
but, I mean, it's expensive as well.
It is.
That's
You could build it. But I mean, normally if you're playing with people who know what they're doing, they're going to build a pipe. Because normally a support would build a mech. But you're building a mech.
True.
So someone else build a pipe.
Yeah, that was something I actually really wanted to mention. I think it's really awesome. It almost sort of reminds me of the way Dare was playing Doombringer for a while. It was like the Aura Doombringer. And just because you couldn't kill him. Obviously, it's a slightly different case with Meepo, but Meepo just benefits from all these Aura items anyway. So he's getting a lot of these team-based items, and I mean, if you just get the Vlads and the mech, I mean, those are two huge support items that, okay, supports don't always get the Vlads, but you're freeing up money for your support, so you're ensuring that you can get the wards. They might be able to get their arcane boots a lot faster. Like you're saying now, they can get pipe, a force staff, something like this. Some of these other items that they normally can't afford. So, you know, I always like those kind of heroes that really help the team in general. With those kind of items.
Matt, more bracers. That's what supports get. They get more bracers. Every game I watch, supports, if they have extra money, just buy another frickin' bracer. Like, CMs have 4 or 5 by the end of the game. They're so decked out in jewelry that they don't know what to do with it. Actually, those are probably bracelets and not bracers. But in any event, actually a question came in the chat from Nature's Path asking if you can refresh the stacks on drums. And the answer is no. You actually, the only way to do that, and it's actually similar to Blacking Bar, kind of, is that you have to sell the item and just recreate it. Similar, you've seen actually very rarely in professional games, but if people get their Blacking Bar down to 5 seconds and they want it to be back at 10, and they have tons of extra money floating around, they don't need another item, they'll just sell it and they'll rebuild it, and now it's back to 10 seconds and a longer cooldown. So something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's another reason I kind of was liking the drums, especially with Meepo, is just because you can just very easily get away from people if you have to, like, if you have a couple of Meepos attacking, and you just boom speed boost, you can just get out of there pretty easily. And of course, they're all getting the speed boost, so it makes you a lot more mobile.
I thought you could buy a drums recipe and get fresh drums.
No, I don't.
I don't
so.
actually know. I mean, I don't.
It's not like the music.
I very rarely buy drums, so.
You used to when you played Voker all the time, and then
Yeah.
I've had to take over that role now, so that you can play
played
Meepo in our games.
Yeah,
So,
gotta play some Meepo.
Thank God.
And
for
die
that.
a lot.
Dude, I have gotten to the point with Invoker where I can cast up to like 4 or 5 spells in a team fight now. So it's been pretty impressive. I have forgotten about the most important Deafening Blast, as Bonk
Yeah,
will point
Deafening
out to
Blast
me a
is
lot.
huge. Like,
But
I mean,
and I do still need to try Quas Exort. I have yet to try that build. I've only done Quas Wex because it's so easy to win the lane if you go Quas Wex. It's so easy that I feel stupid to go Exort. Like, the only way I would logically go Exort on Invoker is if we picked a team that was amazing at setting up kills, either Shadow Demon, the Shrek, Tri-Lane, or Nature's Prophet that actually ganks and it's not Terps. You know, things like that, then I would actually consider going a Sunstrike build. But otherwise, there's no real point because you're not going to be nearly as effective in the lane. That's my 2 cents.
Former Invoker. Your rebuttal.
Yeah, your rebuttal.
what?
Was
Facts.
there a reason you would go Exort, like, over Quas Wex?
I mean, you can do it to carry, or you can do it to push. It's a good pushing build if you go 4/4, Quas Exort. For the
Forge Spirits, yeah.
Forge Spirits, you get 2 of them. They do like 60 damage, probably, around there. And they give armor debuffs, so they're hard to defend against. I mean, they're not terrible. But, I mean, Wex is way more team fight oriented.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much the meta, so.
Very true.
And he's super good at turtling going Quas Wex. Like, he's probably one of the best curling heroes in the game, in my opinion.
Which is why he's probably picked up so much.
Yep.
Hey!
It's possible.
Hey, you trying to push us? Okay, I'll just
It's
sit in
just
base.
like every
and
time I watch an
tornado you
Exort,
and EMP you and
every time I watch an Exort Invoker picked up, I feel like they usually lose. Like, the high majority Exort loses compared to Quas Wex, just because they pretty much sit middle. They don't gank like a Quas Wex Invoker will. The way they gank is sending out that Sunstrike, and that's about it, you know. So not as effective, I would say.
yep.
I don't know. That just kind of went off topic, but
Thank you.
I do like my Invoker.
The hero that I've been playing a lot recently, Sniper.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't at all. And
No,
I'm really grateful you haven't. You know, actually, we do need to start, and I hate that Gay Cowboy's in chat because he's going to be thrilled to hear this. I want to start running more Spirit Breaker in lineups. I really, really do. I've been inspired. I didn't say I want him to play Spirit Breaker, so don't get any ideas, Will. But I'm just basically saying
I am captain. That is never gonna happen.
No, hear me out. There's been teams running him recently in sort of gank lineups, and he's been really effective, even in team fights. If he gets tanky enough, you know, he can survive long enough to keep bashing people, do a lot of damage. Just don't go Mask of Madness. Don't go Troll. You know, go like legit item builds. You know, Drums of Endurance. What the heck? What was that?
It's supposed to be an H. HH.
Oh, Heaven's Howard. Yeah,
Heaven's
okay. I was
Howard.
like, what are you doing over there?
Albert is strong.
It is very good. Another great item for him. I mean, if you build him properly and you use him the way he needs to be used, not just a farm hero, because that is not his purpose, then he can be a legitimate source of damage and helpful in the fights. That's all.
If they remove the Charge of Darkness debuff,
Oh, yeah.
nothing
Then
but
he's-
Spirit Breaker.
He's
It's gonna be
gold.
nothing but Spirit Breaker.
He's gold at that point. Absolutely. So.
Bonk is completely convinced. You can just tell looking at say like,
He's like, I can't wait for us to
Trying
run
to-
him in our captain's mode
I
games.
can't wait to be captain, so I don't pick him.
Too bad you won't be.
and anybody else. Okay.
Maybe when he gets buffed. Maybe. But Charge of Darkness has a debuff, so it's not gonna happen.
One day we will figure that out.
I'm gonna
So,
hate. I'm hating right now on your Spirit Breaker.
I've
Oh, well.
noticed.
This
What? I'm gonna bring us full circle right back to the Meepo. You ready? You ready?
Alright. I'm ready.
Do you like any particular heroes for the allies for the Meepo?
Just anyone
Oh,
who's
yes.
good at babysitting him. I mean, you can run him in a tri-lane and babysit him that way. I mean, he's not terrible in a tri-lane. He does have a 2-second snare, which is decent for, you know, attempting to gank the opposing tri-lane.
But he doesn't have any damage.
What?
I say he doesn't really do any damage until
No,
he has
I
that
mean,
second Meepo.
Even at level 5, though, Poof does like 200.
Woo!
Or 240.
Celebrate!
I mean, that's a 240 nuke. That's not terrible.
The Geostrike hits for 5 damage a second. Woo!
Oh, yeah, Geostrike will hit for 5, which is bad, but...
Yes, it is.
I mean, 240 for a nuke, I mean, that's a lot for a carry. Most carries don't even have a nuke.
I don't know which carries you play.
Anti-mage?
I play Morphling. You play Morphling. You know better.
I play Morphling. Morphling, yeah, you can try Morphling.
Okay, let me go over the carries really quick. Bounty Hunter, nuke. Luna, nuke. Templar Assassin, burst damage, kind of a nuke. Weaver, Shisuki, I'm calling it a nuke, screw you. Broodmother, nuke. Clinks, Clinks, E-Blade, nuke. Phantom Lancer, nuke.
100 damage.
Murata, double nuke, double the fun. Juggernaut, spin nuke.
It's not
Antimage, ulti nuke.
No.
Shadowfiend, triple
I
nuke.
said level 5. Because if we go to level 6, then there's 2 Meepos, and it's doing like 500 damage.
Yeah, I said once you hit level 6, you do damage. I said before 6, you're pretty damn worthless.
Before 6,
He's terrible. Before
What?
level 6, he's terrible as a hero
What?
and a human being, and whatever he is.
What? Oh, that's because he's a hater. It's because he's seen nothing but bad pubs play Meepo, and he's a hater.
Anyways,
I
plenty of
whenever
carries
I
still
to
think
use, just saying.
it is impossible to kill a Tuskar Meepo lane just because you use the snowball, you pick up all the Meepos, and then you're like one of those Russian toys where it's just the smaller people inside of the bigger people, and you scoop up all the Meepos and you're just a giant rolling ball of death.
I don't know how Tuskar works, so I don't have no input on this.
Oh, you can get allies in that snowball?
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Nike's Inception, but with a snowball.
What?
Where
The
Nike's
next
goes into someone.
Inception.
Yes. You know, he goes into people. He
Inception.
Enters them. He enters them.
Body within the
A
body.
little awkward. Anyways. Right. Oh, but what I was going to say for heroes I like to see with him. The first game I ever played with Bonk, I wanted to run Dazzle.
Dazzle?
Or I guess I should be calling him his name, not in Dota 1. No, it's Dazzle. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking
That's
about.
right.
It's Dazzle.
I was like, what?
Which is
Razzle?
Dazzle. No, I'm just confirming what I said. Which I should be calling him his name.
You should, yes, that is
Yeah,
his
see,
name.
that's
It's
exactly what I
Dazzle.
meant. Anyways, Dazzle. Screw that. All right, he just makes way too much bloody sense with his hero. I mean, frickin' Shadow Wave, obviously amazing. You surround someone with all those Meepos, that is gonna heal all of them, do a ton of damage. Shallow Grave, they focus fire one of those Meepos. Hey, I'm gonna Shallow Grave it. It's gonna live long enough, hopefully, for him either to poof it out of there or to kill the person. Okay, Poison Touch, meh, take it or leave it. And then the Weave gives all of them armor as well as reducing armor. I mean, he's just a perfect support, I think, for that hero.
Yeah, the only thing I can say to that is once Meepo hits 6, he pulls one of the jungle, but if you are trying to gank, he'll poof it back, so... I mean, it will be okay.
Well,
There
I
you go.
think he's
That's
good
what we're
for it.
doing right after this game, Craig. Dazzle Meepo.
Oh, and I'm
Long
going
as-
Spirit Breaker in that game.
As long as I actually get to play Meepo.
It's going to be Spirit Breaker, Dazzle, Meepo.
People are going to rage, because I'm going
Someone
to pick
play
Meepo.
Exort, Invoker, and then...
None of your viewers are going to want to play because they know I'm playing Meepo.
And
They're all like,
Anti-Mage.
oh, we were
Green
gonna-
Pollinature's
they're
Path,
like-
Anti-Mage. That's
they're
how
like,
you finish
viewer-
that lineup.
They're like, viewer game, yes! Oh, he's playing Meepo? I gotta go. They're like, oh,
I got
gotta
things
go,
to do.
see you later.
Busy stuff.
Gotta go
Rage quit.
watch my flowers grow.
What?
Brush my teeth. See you later.
Screen protector?
Flowers grow. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yep.
I think we're wrapping this up since apparently, yeah, this has gone quite downhill very quickly.
We didn't even talk about skill builds, though.
Go.
Oh.
well,
That's kind of important. Go ahead really quick. How would you
All right.
build, how do you build him?
You go 1 in net, 1 in Geostrike, max poof, alt at 6, and then you max net, and then you put 1 more in Geostrike, and then you get stats to 16, and then you max Geostrike, and then you max stats.
Why do you wait till 16 to max Geostrike?
Because you like stats, and Geostrike's not that important that
Why
early.
has Geostrike suddenly become good after that extra Meepo?
Because then it's multiplicative slow, because you have another person Geostriking.
So it's not worth it with 3 of them? Only with 4 of them?
I mean, it's not bad. but you need stats. Because after 11, that's about when you get your blink, and that's about when you start ganking. So having the extra health is like key.
Duh.
And you don't really need the slow because you have like the 6-second snare.
I just say why get it at all? Just keep it at 2 and then just stats it up.
Yeah, that's what I said. Get it at 2.
Whatever. I think we agree.
Yeah,
So that's
we do
good.
agree.
So there you go, guys. That's how you should definitely max Puth. I think most people can agree on that. And then just at least have 1 point of Geostrike in the net for CC and control. But yeah, I think for the most part, everyone can agree on that pretty simply. Get that mech up really quick with the Ring of Basilius as well early. Turn that eventually into that Vladimir's. And if you are just starting out, don't get a blink right away. I do not suggest it. That is definitely for advanced play.
Blink makes Meepo even more complicated. I've been working with it, so I'm alright with it. Of course, all the games that I played Meepo, the other team has just fucking haunted me the entire time. My bad on the language.
I thought you said haunted.
Virgineers.
Hunted. They've just been like, it's like, where's Meepo? Let's send our whole team to that lane.
I
That's all.
I have seen it get obliterated quite a few times. I've seen a lot of focus fire on the blinking Meepo.
Yeah. The issue is I go in too early. I need to let people initiate. Except whenever I play Dota, I feel like nobody wants to do anything. It's like, hey, look, they're there. We should probably do something. And everyone's like, well, I'll just wait till someone else does something first. It's like, all right, I'll blink in, and then I die.
So you need Naga Siren on his team is what you're saying.
Or
Naga Siren lets you set up all the poofs in the world.
you just need someone to man up,
That's asking a lot.
which is probably not going to happen in a poop. So.
If you get Naga, you have yet another net.
That's
I
true.
And then
actually
that's
played
the
with
very
Naga on my
end.
team. It was pretty interesting.
You get Chen, get Troll Warlord. What other nets are
No,
there?
you really just need a Darkseer. You get Darkseer, Naga, and Meepo, and you just obliterate the world with that AoE damage. That'd be pretty
Oh,
funny.
in that Meepo Bounty Hunter lane, we were against Juggernaut CM with Shen jungling. It was the best ever.
Great times.
Yep, it's good times. I got killed a lot, and Bounty Hunter didn't because he just invised and they never bought detection, and then they just all blamed me.
There you
What's new? Yeah. All right. Any
good.
other last-minute discussions before we get this game set up? No?
Oh yeah, I gotta
look
do
like
that, don't I? I'm gonna need like 10 minutes.
You will survive. So if you do want to play, sit around in the chat lobby. We'll get this organized, get ready to go. Depending on how many people, we might just do a little in-house, whatever. We'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
But
Roadhouse.
Listen, guys, if we
Roadhouse
in-house,
in-house.
do not go for Meepo.
Yeah, totally don't
Don't-
focus him because he
Do
totally
not
doesn't
try
scale
to
late
kill me,
game very
please.
well.
I don't like dying.
Okay, so go
Just
for
don't do it.
Bonk is what we just said. So
Try
anyways,
to kill J4Y.
That's not hard to do. You want to finish this out, BLM?
I do. Of course, like we said earlier, please tune in tomorrow with me. I have to wake up at 8 a.m. You should have to wake up with me and Jay as well. And you can watch the Rising Star qualifiers that are going to lead into the GST, which we will also have some hand in being able to cast. And we really do appreciate any of you guys who watch this, who tune into us casting. Thank you, wholeheartedly. But yeah, tune into that. Tune into the VODs on that stream. Now you get to see how ugly Bonk is. And you're stuck with it from now on. So, Pandora's box has been opened. We'll talk to you guys later.